Welcome back. I'm prepared to be bedazzled because today I'm going to be shedding light on why working most real private sector employee jobs based on voluntary demand will never provide a person with enough money to be able to afford to attain an extremely low standard of living. So why does this happen to be the case, you may ask? Without further ado, without further delay, without further procrastination, allow me to demystify the answer to that inquiry right here, right now. Lamentably, much of my dismay, much of my consternation, much of my chagrin, much of my grief, much of my agony, much of my agitation, much of my irritation, most real private sector employee jobs based on voluntary demand are often deemed to be dead and highly contemplating, debilitating, minimum wage, dispiriting, unfulfilling, undesirable, harrowing, distressful, brutally wretched, and agonizing jobs that not only dispossess an employee out of almost all the sacrosanct time, but that also do not furnish them with anything close to even one-fourth of a subsistence wage for affording housing. Furthermore, most real private sector employers are keen on not offering any benefits nor pensions to the real private sector employees. Moreover, almost 100% of the profits the companies generate are reserved for their shareholders, executives, and external directors. Succinctly stated, if your emolument is capped at the minimum wage threshold by working most real private sector employee jobs based on voluntary demand, then you will not have enough purchasing power to be able to afford to attain an extremely low standard of living in this controlled market economy. The total cost to attain an extremely low standard of living in this controlled market economy can unequivocally be sizable. If you receive a minimum wage as your remuneration, then you will concomitantly have a negligible amount of purchasing power, which is not enough purchasing power to be able to afford to cover all the costs as an aggregate that are subsumed under the attainment of an extremely low standard of living. In order to be able to attain an extremely low standard of living, a person needs to earn enough fiat currency to not only be able to afford to pay the perpetually recurring rental fee, but also needs to earn enough fiat currency to be able to afford to purchase a vehicle, purchase functional vehicle parts, incessantly purchase food, incessantly purchase fuel, as well as pay the perpetually recurring exorbitant auto insurance premium, as well as pay the perpetually recurring driver's license renewal fee, as well as pay the perpetually recurring exorbitant vehicle registration fee, as well as pay the perpetually recurring tire rotation fee, as well as pay the perpetually recurring internet subscription service fee, as well as pay the perpetually recurring smartphone subscription service fee. So, if your pay grade is capped at the minimum wage threshold by working most real private sector employee jobs based on voluntary demand, you may be able to cover some of the aforementioned costs that are associated with attainment of an extremely low standard of living. However, will not be able to cover all the costs as an aggregate that are associated with attainment of an extremely low standard of living if your remuneration is capped at the minimum wage threshold by working most real private sector employee jobs based on voluntary demand. So I hope that you deem this video to be riveting, captivating, mesmerizing, insightful, intriguing, amusing, and enthralling. I hope that you're entrenched in the unalloyed epicness. You need to generate a substantial amount of fiat currency to be able to afford to attain an extremely low standard of living in this controlled market economy in which the cost of living is exorbitant. Thanks for watching. Have a blissful day.